Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our daily pitching preview show that we do with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, guy who has a ton of experience handicapping Major League Baseball. Right now we're going to take a look at the pitching assignments for Saturday, April 25th. Joe Duffy, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Peter Loshak.
All right, ton of experience, and you're having another successful year this year, off to a start as expected?
As I record this, 13 games above 500 with 65 underdogs. I've actually had 65 underdog winners. I've had more underdog winners than I've had all losers combined. I do pick some favorites, some totals, and more underdog winners than all losers combined, baby.
All right, excellent. Sounds good, Joe. All right, let's start off with a newcomer, Anthony DeSclafani from Freehold, New Jersey, right? Guido on the mound, but he's doing well. He's off to a huge start. A lot of people. I actually was reading a preseason that there were some people expecting him to be sort of an under-the-radar guy, and that has certainly happened. Had three great starts to start the year. Here he's going to be at home against a live Cubs lineup, though. Is this guy Anthony DeSclafani from Freehold, New Jersey? Is he for real?
This guy who's from Marlton, New Jersey, says yes. He was actually a pretty highly touted guy with so-called great stuff. I know those guys tend to be a dime a dozen, but he's performing at the major league level. He's been incredible. Now, the thing that you do have to worry about him, and he's got a .86 ERA, 16 strikeouts, and only 4 base on balls, that even though he is one of those guys that a lot of people thought could be a stud pitcher, and short term, he has looked like it. What you really got to worry about is when he finally faces some trouble, you know, can he get out of it? So these young players, they tend to be a little bit streaky, but the way he's pitching right now, heck yeah, why would you not go with him?
All right, so we expect a good start from him. Then Arrieta on the other side looking like a very reliable guy. He's off to another excellent start to the year. He had a great year last year, finally really coming into his own. So maybe, you know, an under here, even though it is in a hitter's friendly park and the Cubs do have some live bats in their lineup now.
Well, Arrieta, he pitches in a pitcher-friendly or a hitter's-friendly park, too. So I would say, all in all, probably off the top of my head, I would lean towards the under. You got two very good pitchers who are pitching well, pitching pretty well. So the unders probably would be my strong lean.
Okay, and then Mets at Yanks, Harvey against CC. You know, CC Sabathia, actually, I got a little burned on his last start. It was pretty decent in his last start. We know, though, that Harvey is awesome game in and game out. He has given up a few home runs, but his strikeout to walk ratio is awesome. 24 strikeouts, 1 walk. You know, are the Mets for real here? Probably in this game. We might not see a huge favorite line for Matt Harvey. And what do we expect from both these guys? Harvey against Sabathia. I mean, Sabathia, you know, the Mets might not put up much of a challenge. I mean, they are winning, I know that, but their lineup, they don't have a ton of pop in their lineup, and maybe Sabathia will have another game here where maybe we want to look to fade Sabathia when he's up against stronger lineups, but here against the Mets might be another good start for him. I don't know how to analyze this pitching matchup. What do you think, Joe?
I don't know if the Mets are for real, but there's no question Matt Harvey's for real. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball, bar none. And I understand that CC Sabathia, he had watched our videos, and he got really upset when you were making fun of his weight. So he's kind of used you as bulletin board material.
Hey, I wasn't making fun of his weight. I was making fun of his fastball velocity and his results on the field.
Well, okay, I guess you were, but he's used bulletin board material. He has pitched well against the Mets. Now, of course, when you're talking about lifetime records, interleague play has been around for a while now, but he is 3-1 with a 2.14 ERA in his 5 career starts against the Mets. I would say that the Mets, when they got a stud pitcher like Matt Harvey, their bats are probably not as good as they've shown, but Harvey certainly is. So maybe, if anything, you expect for a little regression to the mean from their bats, but Harvey is for real. So maybe the under here, and why CC is actually pitching fairly decent might not be a bad chance to bet on the under.
And then we have Adam Wainwright, right? And now we talk about how Adam Wainwright is, you know, kind of overvalued game in and game out, but not as overvalued as Milwaukee's been this year, right? They have the worst ROI in all of baseball, having a tough time winning. I think we're in agreement that at some point that's going to reverse, and Milwaukee might even become a good bet. They do have some pop in their lineup. But here, Adam Wainwright on the road facing Milwaukee. Is this a spot where maybe Wainwright actually might have some value? He won't be a big favorite, a huge favorite on the road. Probably be a big favorite, but not in the stratosphere. And he's facing a team that's been overvalued and not getting it done. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Adam Wainwright, he's, you know, that guy that he's a heck of a pitcher on a good team. And when you're talking about a very good pitcher on a very good team, it is extremely difficult to get value there. But Milwaukee, I know a lot of us are expecting them to finally burst out of it. Whether or not they will by the time this game takes place remains to be seen, but there is no question that Milwaukee is a struggling team, and against a very good pitcher, could be a good situation for them to get shut out. Maybe you might even want to consider the run line. It could be a 2-0, 3-0 game, or what have you. So the Cardinals on the run line might be a good bet here.
And then Ross Detweiler on the other side, guy who's had 3 bad starts so far this year. They're sticking with him for another start here. Texas on the road against the Angels. What'll the line be? You know, it'll be a pretty high favorite line for the Angels, but, you know, if Detweiler gives another start just like his first 3, then the Angels will probably have some value in various ways. Do we think we expect any kind of an improvement from Detweiler, or another start where he gets crushed?
Yeah, probably not. It's not like he's one of the top pitchers in baseball by any stretch of the imagination. When you're talking about a mediocre pitcher who's pitching poorly, another good time to fade him, and that might be another case where, as much as he's been getting drilled, to go with the run line for a little bit of value, lay the 1.5.
Okay, so expect not significant improvement from Detweiler. All right, then there's another bunch of interesting matchups. We got Bauer against Simon in Cleveland, Detroit. Masterson and Chen is looking like an interesting matchup, and Volquez and Danks in KC at the White Sox. So what do you want to talk about from the rest of the card that might point us towards some betting value this Saturday, Joe?
The Royals, Edison Volquez, he's 2-1 with a 1.99 ERA, so he's a good guy to ride while you're hot. The A's, Kendall Graveman. Talk about a perfect name for the way that he's pitched. He's only pitched 11 2/3 innings pitched in 3 starts, 6.94 ERA, as his career might be in grave jeopardy unless he improves on that. And Shelby Miller for the Braves, 1.97 ERA if you want to go back to last year, and that's significant enough. In his last 10 starts, 1.97 ERA for Shelby Miller. So you want to talk about a guy who's pitching well and might be a little bit undervalued. It's not like he's playing on the most talented team in baseball right now.
All right. So would you be leaning towards all of those 3 trends continuing, leaning towards betting on Kansas City, leaning towards betting against Oakland, and leaning towards betting on Atlanta?
I would say of the 3, probably betting on Atlanta, because I think you're going to get good value with Shelby Miller. Most likely Shelby Miller would be the best value of the 3.
All right. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Thanks so much for your thoughts once again.